In obituary news this morning, Mrs. Ellen Patricia Crossway, age 77, of Prattville, died March 9th at Baptist Medical Center South in Montgomery. Graveside service for Ms. Crossway will be today at 2 p.m. From Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation prior to the service from 1 until 2 at Curtis & Son North. I'll officiate that service. Burial, of course, in the Evergreen Cemetery. Donations can be made to the American Heart Association. Online condolences at curtisonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Mr. Frank Milton Draper, age 82, formerly of Talladega, died March 6. Sims Funeral Service announcing. John Robert Bob Hall, age 83, of Sylacauga, died Sunday, March 3rd. Mr. Hall was born November 28th in Greenville, South Carolina. And a visitation for John was held last Thursday at Mackey Funerals and Cremations in Woodlawn Memorial Park in Greenville, South Carolina. And he was buried there as well. A funeral service was held March 7th. And John Robert Bob Hall, age 83, of Sylacauga. Willie Hamilton, age 69, died March the 11th. Community Funeral Home announcing the arrangements. Paul Austin Horn, age 60, died at his residence March 8th. The family will announce a memorial service at a later date. Mr. Horn attended Blackberry Lane Baptist Church. In lieu of flowers, donation can be made to the funeral expenses at Talladega Funeral Home. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Thomas Tommy D. Smith, age 72, of Talladega, died at his residence on Sunday. Visitation for Mr. Smith will be Thursday at 6 p.m. from 6 till 7:30 at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega. A graveside service will follow on Friday at 2 p.m. at the Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo. The Reverend Mick Barnett will officiate. Mr. Smith served in the United States Air Force and was a Vietnam War veteran. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home directing. Mrs. Mary Frances Walker, age 82, died Monday at her residence. Sims Funeral Service directing. Beatrice Jones Connor, age 82, of Talladega, died March 10th. The family receiving friends at Talladega Funeral Home today from 2 until 3. Funeral service begins at 3 in the chapel. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Miss Connor was a graduate of Munford High School. A family meal will be served at First Free Will Baptist Church following the graveside. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Memorial service for Lois Ruth Byrd, age 75, of Sylacauga, will be Sunday, March 24th at Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. Mrs. Byrd died Friday, March 8th at Brookwood Medical Center. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga directing. And funeral service for Mr. Roger Allen Pasley, age 87, of Alexander City, is today at 11 a.m. from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home, with the Reverend Wayne Henderson officiating. Burial in the Eagle Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. The family receiving friends this morning, 9:30 till 10:30 at the funeral home. Radley Funeral Home, Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. This first check on obituaries is brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.